Picture this. It's a quiet Sunday afternoon in 18th century Prussia. The River Pregel is cutting cleanly right through the city of Königsberg, splitting the land into four distinct chunks. You've got two mainland shores and two central islands. And connecting these lands? 7 bridges. Now, on these lazy Sunday walks, a very specific, seemingly innocent game starts occupying the minds of the locals. So here's the puzzle, and it is deceptively simple. Is it actually possible to cross all 7 of those bridges without ever retracing your steps? The residents, they'd walk, they'd plan, they'd inevitably have to turn around. They were just trying to find one continuous path that crosses every single bridge exactly once, no doubling back. Honestly, it feels like it should be totally possible, right? Like it's just a matter of finding that perfect starting point. Yet, week after week, every single attempt just ends in absolute frustration. The physical layout of the city stubbornly refuses to cooperate.
Part 1. The Bridges of Königsberg, Stripping Away Reality. Now, while the everyday citizens were completely boxed in by the physical reality of wood, stone, and water, the mathematician Leonhard Euler did something incredibly counterintuitive. He entirely ignored the bridges as physical objects. To solve this puzzle, he just mentally strips away the river. He reduces those 4 sprawling land masses into 4 simple dots, and the 7 wooden bridges, they just become simple connecting lines. By flattening this complex, living city into a pure, abstracted skeleton, he easily proves that the Sunday walk is, in fact, mathematically impossible. An odd number of connections basically guarantees you're going to get stuck.
And that exact moment of abstraction, that is literally the birth of graph theory. The dots become known as vertices. The lines become known as edges. It's this profoundly optimistic realization. If you can just remove all the distracting details of reality, you can uncover the invisible, underlying truth of how things connect. Euler didn't just win some local trivia game here. He handed humanity an entirely new lens to view the universe.
Part 2. Widen the frame, the skeleton of the modern world.
To really grasp the sheer weight of Euler's invention, we have to widen the frame a bit, because a theory born from an 18th century Sunday stroll now serves as the invisible architecture of our entire modern life. Think about it. When a global shipping company routes cargo across the ocean to save on fuel, they are navigating a graph. When Google's PageRank algorithm finds you the absolute best search result, or when sociologists figure out who holds the most influence in a social network, they are doing exactly what Euler did. They're just looking at who is connected to whom.
Part 3. Translating geometry into algebra.
But a real challenge pops up when we move from the 18th century into the digital age. You or I can look at a central node radiating out to 3 surrounding neighbors, kind of like a star shape, and we instantly grasp the geometry. A computer, though, it cannot. To make this useful at a massive scale, to actually optimize it, we have to map this physical shape into a strict mathematical language. Basically, we have to translate geometry directly into algebra. Enter the adjacency matrix. It is a brilliant grid of 1s and 0s that reads exactly like a ledger of relationships. If vertex 0 is connected to vertex 1, the matrix simply records a 1. If there's no connection, it records a 0. This grid flawlessly captures the skeleton of an entire city, the layout of a computer network, or even just a simple star pattern, entirely in numbers. It's this perfect translation that finally allows massive computational power to interact with physical space.
Part 4. Plumbing the network.
Because once a network is translated into a matrix, we don't just want to stare at it, right? We want to push resources through it. Think of this kind of combinatorial optimization exactly like pushing water through a massive system of pipes. The Edmonds-Karp algorithm is remarkably intuitive for this. You just find any open path from your source to your destination and you push flow through it. You keep finding new paths over and over until every single route is completely choked off. When no more water can physically flow, you have mathematical confirmation that the network is operating at its absolute maximum potential.
Part 5. The Limits of Abstraction.
Now, we do need to welcome a bit of complexity here, and frankly, we should explicitly speculate about the failure modes of this kind of abstraction. When we reduce a bustling city's bridges to mere edges, yes, we gain incredible mathematical clarity, but we entirely lose the human element. The matrix doesn't know if a bridge is covered in black ice. An unweighted graph treats a crumbling, muddy dirt road exactly the same as a pristine, multi-lane highway. The math is absolute and clean, sure, but physical reality is messy, unpredictable, and highly contextual. We've got to always remember, the map is not the territory.
Part 6. The Universal Adapter. Yet even with those limitations, graph theory remains fiercely optimistic at its core. It succeeds precisely because it is the ultimate universal adapter for human problem solving. The exact same mathematics, literally the identical matrices and optimization algorithms, can be used to rank a web page, calculate a Markov chain, or efficiently route emergency supplies after a disaster. We essentially found a single mathematical language that speaks to nearly every structural challenge in the modern world.
Part 7. The enduring graph.
To truly appreciate the power of this abstraction, we just have to look back at the physical reality of Königsberg, which is now modern-day Kaliningrad. Time, as we know, impacts all physical structures. During the intense conflicts of World War II, 2 of those original 7 bridges were completely destroyed. Decades later, 2 more were just swallowed up and paved over by modern highways. That quiet Sunday walk from the 18th century, it is physically gone. The wood and stone faded away.
But the mathematics Euler invented remains immortal. The concept of nodes and edges easily outlived the physical materials that inspired it, quietly waiting for centuries just to build the digital age. It really leaves you wondering, what other invisible architectures are hiding in plain sight right now, just waiting for the right abstraction to reveal them? Please note this video is AI generated with Notebook LM, drawn from Graph Theory Penn State Math 485 lecture notes by Christopher Griffin. Informational only, not advice. If you've been enjoying the journey, like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.